So let's just start talking about market conditions, about what we did today, how we took the trades, why it made sense to take the trades we did, and so forth. So the first things first, obviously we have to ignore the price or day of, because we didn't really know what was going on. So we always go ahead and look at past data. So let's go ahead and go to the 5-minute time frame here. Zoom on in here. And the first thing we're going to obviously be looking at, just like I said to you guys, is pretty repetitive, right? We do the same thing every single day, and especially the people that have been with me for a while. I kind of like the repetitive, so you guys kind of see it over and over and over again, how the trades, as long as you stick to your rules, as long as you stick to the trades, as long as you stick to your risk, there should be no reason why we're not staying consistent, all right? So we have obviously pre-market highs, we got pre-market lows, right? Very, very simple. We got pretty much this level support, which is very, very noticeable yesterday, and then we have a very valid level support, resistance right here. So we already have 4 levels on just pre-market and yesterday that are kind of shooting out to us. So instead of having lines, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to draw these zones. All right. So pre-market highs to pre-market resistance. Boom. Now we have yesterday's pre-market support, another pre-market support right here for pre-market lows. Boom. Okay, and then what we can do is we can then go ahead and go to a higher time frame. So here's the 15-minute, and we don't really see any type of resistance here. So let's go to a higher time frame, 1 hour. There we go. We obviously have, I don't know how many days this is. This is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days ago. Price action. We have to go back on to look at some more resistance levels right there. Okay, if this doesn't make sense, please ask below. If I'm going too fast, please ask, say something below, and I can kind of repeat myself. So now let's go to the 1-minute time frame. So we have our levels, right? And these are exactly the trades that I was able to take, exactly the trades that we took together this morning, and everything like that. So market open, right? What did I tell you guys on market open? We're looking bullish. We're trading above the 200. We're trading above the VWAP, right? So we should obviously look for longs. No reason at all to be looking for a short position, only long positions. What happened? We immediately shot up to the what? Zone, okay? And then I was actually telling you guys, hey, I'm interested in taking a long position, right? Right at break here. Well, look what happened on next candle. We actually dipped, right? And once we dipped here, I'm like, cool. If we can form a higher low and get right back above this, this could be a very, very, very good potential long. And that's exactly the trade we took. We took longs on this break high, right? Or we could have gone in early right down here at 25,819, and that would have been a beautiful trade right there, right? Entry, exit, and that was the first trade, okay? Very, very beautiful, very, very, very nice. Like actually super nice. I don't even think we took, yeah, then we took, I think, yeah, we took one more trade after that, and I'll go ahead and show you guys the second trade we took, which again is the exact same system. I don't know, I keep deleting that level. I'm trying to delete this red line here. Same as that thing, right? We pushed up, we came back down, right? Now this is acting as a support level. Very, very simple. We took longs right here, and then obviously it was a very, very, very quick scalp. It was actually very, very quick, not really anything that we're trying to chase. And then it was a quick like 15-point move, which was right here, and we got out, and I made like maybe another like $400 to $500 right there. Now, right after that, what happened? What happened right after that? We just started shopping, consolidating, but there should have been what? No reason to go short, because we're trading above the 200-day moving average. We're trading above the VWAP. So after this consolidation, we could have maybe waited for it to hold on, let me get back. I keep some mussing here. Here we go. We could have waited for it to make sure that we're still making those higher highs and higher lows, and then we could have targeted, right, entry, take profit, and that would have been another beautiful, beautiful trade. So if you guys are looking, and now we're going to kind of transfer over to what we're talking about, market structure, all we should be doing, guys, is taking 1 to 3 trades a day, no more, no less, right, making sure our leverage is on point, and we're just targeting the zones. That's all we're doing, is we're just targeting zones, right? So I'm not going to take a trade unless the market is about to get into the zone, right? I'm going to stay off. It's not going to make sense to me. So that's why it's very, very crucial, especially for the people that have been with me for a little bit, to make sure your zones are pretty mastered, right? This consolidation, we would have pretty much stayed away on until we got into the zone, right? We could have even waited, right? And to get to this zone, look what happened. We closed into it. We could have gone long. We could have maybe had take profit at 50% of the zone. That's the easy 25-point move, right? We could have even waited for a pullback, right? And then we could have even targeted once we entered the zone again. We entered, formed a higher low, boom, continuation, right? And there's so many examples of this. It's the same pattern, right? All trading is, guys, is pattern recognition. Understanding the patterns and how the patterns repeat themselves. Support and resistance. Resistance to support, support to resistance, breakouts, retests, right? Higher highs, higher lows, lower highs, right? Trading above the VWAP, trading below the VWAP. If we could just master this, it's just very repetitive. Trading is a very repetitive thing, but what is difficult is two things. Obviously, markets change daily and our emotions. That's all that gets in the way from you guys becoming profitable. Your emotions and market change. Because what happened today, tomorrow is going to be completely different, but our system is still exactly the same, right? So, and you guys see every time we do market recaps every day for every lesson, you guys can see I do the exact same thing. Chart out pre-market highs, chart out pre-market lows, draw our zones on the 5-minute, the 2-minute, the 15-minute if needed be, and then wait for it to get into those zones and then play the levels, right? And that's why I usually don't even trade Asian or London sessions because, right, we would have to, like, for example, let's say we want to trade Asian here, right? Asian just opened up. Well, for us to do that, we would have to then base our levels on today's price action, right? So we would have a level, if we were going to take a trade on Asian, which I never do, but if we would, we do the exact same thing, right? So here's this zone, boom, we got a level resistance all the way up here, boom, and this could actually probably be something that we'll be looking at for tomorrow, this level, 25,996 or 26,000, right? This is going to be probably an important level for tomorrow, okay? And then, obviously, we have a little bit of resistance here. So if I was going to trade Asian or New London or whatever you guys want to call it, I would wait for price to get to this zone to make a decision or to get to this zone to make a decision. But the thing is, during Asian London, volume is like 10 times slower than New York Open or 20 times slower than New York Open. So we're going to be sitting here staring at that for quite a while until price actually decides to do something, right? So that's why I'm not a big fan of Asian. It works. It still works. Strategy works. Money still to be made. You're just going to have 30 times and more patience. And if you guys are struggling with having patience in New York Open, you guys are definitely not going to have the patience to trade Asian or London, right? And then it takes like forever for the play to play out, okay? So questions or comments so far? I'm actually going to go into and share my screen on the DOM. This is a simulated account that I just opened up, like a paper trading account. So we can take some trades here on the DOM so you guys can see how I use it. I'm going to go ahead and change my screen here so you guys can see it. So let me change the stream. Perfect. So this is what I use to actually take my trades. Okay, I'm going to change the window over here so everybody else can see it as well. Cool. So this is what I use to take my trades. Okay. You guys, when I share my screen in the mornings, I just share my screen on Thinkorswim. But when I say, hey, I'm in, I'm out, this is what I'm actually using to execute. Now, you guys don't have to do it this way. I'm just sharing what I do and how I do it. And then if you guys are like, oh, I want to try that, or no, that's too complicated, right? So for example, let's say, yo, guys, I'm going in, right? And I say, hey, guys, I have a limit order set at, I don't know, 25,840, just for example purposes. I'm going to go ahead and right click on the price to where I want my limit order at. So I have them trading NQ. I want to trade 2 contracts. I'm going to go ahead and just put a limit order right there. So now you can see I have a limit order.
Stop filled.
Boom. I just got filled for longs, right? For the limit order. And you can see my arrow is where my over average is, right? I have my arrow. And then it says how much I'm up or down up here. Tells me how many contracts I'm in. Tells me up here. So if I say, hey, guys, I'm going to sell my positions now at, let's just say, for example, 25,845. I'm just going to go ahead and left click, right, on the right side. So there we go. I'm going to left click right here. We got 2 contracts. So if we go up and get filled, it'll fill me for $190 profit.
Order filled.
Just like so. And now I don't use a graph at all because the graph that I'm using is Thinkorswim, the charting platform I just showed you. So I just have this on the right-hand side of my screen, and then I have Thinkorswim pulled up. So I'm actually looking for my entries and my exits on Thinkorswim, but I'm placing it on Tradeovate. I don't use the graphs on TraderVate. This is exactly what I do. And I just we made $187. Let's go on literally just placing fake orders. But same exact thing, right? So for example, let's say I'm just going to go long here.
Order
let's say buy market just for example purposes. But let's say my stop loss is right here, right? All I'm going to do is right click right here. Boom, I have my stop loss. I'll lose $170 if I get pulled out. And that's how I know how much I'm going to lose or how much I'm going to make before it even happens, right? And that's what I do. Yeah, I don't use the graph. Now, again, this is how I trade and how I use it. And then, for example, to get out of a position, let's say I'm in 2 contracts long right now. For example, I'm down $60. But if let's say we're the profit, for example, we're in, right? We would just hit join ask. So I would hit join ask and it would get me filled. And you can see the order just came right here. It would get me filled perfectly at the ask. Now, again, if I want to add more, I'll just hit join bid and then it'll get filled on the bid.
Order filled.
There we go. I just added 4 more contracts right there. All right. And then if I'm saying, you know what, I just need to get out. I'm losing money, blah, blah, blah. Then I'll just go ahead and hit exit, cancel
order
all.
Filled.
And then that would cancel everything out for me. And then my orders get canceled, my position gets canceled and all that stuff. Okay. What's this called you're using? It's called the DOM, D-O-M-E. To add it, you're just going to go to, I want to see if this actually shows up. Yeah. You're just going to hit Super DOM. And then you just type in NQ. And then there you go, right? And then from there, all you're going to do is you're going to go to the setting wheel up here. And then on the setting wheel, you're just going to hit show bid or ask, which is these 2 buttons. And then you're going to go to settings and then show estimated P&L. And then you get that once you're in a position, your estimated P&L will be there as well, okay? And what's cool as well is you can like have multiple. So if I'm trading gold, I can just quickly switch over to gold. Right? And then boom, I have the gold contracts up. Trades MNQ, boom, I got MNQ pulled up. Oh, I want to trade ES. I could have ES pulled up. I don't know why it's not. There you go. ES pulled up very, very quickly. Okay. So it's pretty nice to use. This is all I use. And it kind of just, because like, why do you guys need, if you, I don't know, how many of us in here, by the way, use Thinkorswim? Who uses Thinkorswim to chart, which is my platform that I use? Who uses it and who doesn't use it? I'm curious. Now, if you guys are using Thinkorswim, that's why I just use DOM. Now, if you're using, there's no reason, right, to use Thinkorswim and then something else. So if you're using something else, and that's why I tell you guys why I don't use any other charting platform, because no offense, I'm not going to be biased, but I guess I will be a little biased. Other charting platforms are kind of shitty, right? Top Step, they don't tell you pre-market data or pre-market close. Their indicators are really crappy. Right? TradeAve's platform and charting platform is really sucky, right? Do you guys see? Let me open up I'll reopen up and reshare my screen and change the stream and show you guys the charting setup. Like if I go to the charts here, let's do chart and type in NQ, right? Like look how disgusting. Oh, we have to change some settings here, but I mean, look how disgusting this is to trade compared to like Thinkorswim, right? You don't even know where pre-market is or levels are or whatever, right? Like you, okay? And then at the same time, it's free. Most other things like TradingView, you have to pay for, right? And TradingView doesn't even have my algo that I use either, too. So it's just definitely good to just pick between one. Now, I'm going to be biased because this is what I do, and this is how I trade, and this is how I have literally a 91% win rate, is because literally what I'm showing you guys is what I do. I'm not saying you guys have to do it, but like, why not have a system or a trading platform that gives you an algo that helps you identify your key levels? Like my algo literally gives me where I can put my levels and they're super accurate, right? Why not you have a very, very easy identification between pre-market and market open, right? And then moving averages is very, very, and it just looks a lot cleaner and just looks a lot better, right? As traders, we have to have our tools making simple sense to us. If it's hard to navigate, if it doesn't make sense, if you're guessing or making mistakes, the charting platform, Top Step, and Sense glitches all the time. Yeah. Right now, again, eventually maybe TOS after I'm done with Finders. Yeah. Now again, I have a whole tutorial video in the Start Here roadmap on how you get set up with Thinkorswim, how to put the algo, how to use the software, how to blah blah blah, everything. So. Yeah, I have YouTube videos. I have the full course inside of the Discord for you guys to use as well for that. So all the information is there. It's just at the end of the day, you decide, should I use it, should I not use it? Now, You can still become profitable without using the system. You don't need like, oh, if I don't have Thinkorswim, I'm not going to become profitable. No. But at the same time, at least this is how I look at it. If I trade just on Tradeovate, I feel like I'm going to trade worse. Or if I just trade on TopStep, I feel like I'm going to trade worse. Maybe just because I'm just so used to doing this forever for 7 years, using the platform and how it works. But this is my bread and butter, and this is kind of like my baby. I'm never going to wander away from it. And how I trade, I'm never going to change, right? I guess I was just using the graphs on Tradeovate to just click buy or sell, but I was automatically stop loss and take profit, so I like how it's fixed. Yeah, exactly. So what are the questions you guys have for me? Any other questions, comments, concerns about anything in trading? Or are we all like, yeah, well, we're good. We're ready for tomorrow. We're ready to make more money tomorrow. We're ready for a Thursday, another 4-day week. The whole week, guys, have been green all week. So let's maybe make this whole week a green week for everybody in here and the start of 2025 or 2026, excuse me, on a green note. So we good? No questions? Y'all are content? Nothing to go over? You guys are already just become multi-quazillionaires in trading? Yeah. All right, cool. If you guys have no questions for me, we can kill the lesson early. I talked about market structure already. I talked about the DOM already. It is recorded. I will upload the video here probably tomorrow morning or tonight, so you guys can have this video to kind of rewatch it if you guys choose to do so as well. And then I'll see everybody tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Central Time, for another live trading session and make more money with the team. So cool. All right. Well, you guys have a beautiful rest of your evening. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Peace out, guys. Good lesson. I'll catch you guys tomorrow morning. Peace.